Hi, I'm Matt Welch with my co-author Nick Gillespie. We are both part of the coffee generation, along with Kenny Anderson and David Bowie in the yellow suit. And we are co-authors of the Declaration of Independence, How Libertarian Politics Can Fix What's Wrong with America. It's Ask a Libertarian Day. It's the afternoon caffeine section of it. The next question comes via Facebook from Brian Thompson. What does a libertarian, small l, think about the, quote, war on drugs, unscare quote, and how do we change it?
I think the first thing we need to do is get our terminology straight. It's a war on some drugs, and it's a war on a lot of other things besides drugs, such as the Constitution, such as people's right to put in their bodies what they want, and to suffer the consequences and suffer the highs as well, or lavish the highs. I think, generally speaking, libertarian takes on the war on drugs is that, like most wars, it is absolutely destructive. War should always be a last resort. The war on drugs has been a failure by every measure that you could possibly throw at it. And more to the point, it really does huge damage to the basic idea that we are free and autonomous individuals. I think it's a horrible thing, politically motivated, and the one thing we know is that it's not designed to alleviate social misery. It actually increases it. What do we do about it? How do we change it? I think we're in the beginnings of the end of the drug war. I hate to sound like William Westmoreland in Vietnam or something, but the light's at the end of the tunnel. We're seeing this with an unprecedented number of people in high positions, in exalted positions, and in political office saying, we've got to rethink this or we've got to change it altogether. We had 40% of Republican candidates in the first GOP debate said they were in favor of not just legalizing pot, but even heroin should be legal. This is a big, big shift. We need to tell our stories about our casual and responsible drug use, as our colleague Jacob Sullum did in his great book Saying Yes. We need to make clear the collateral damage of the drug war through no-knock raids, the militarization of police, the shredding of the Constitution, and the destruction of our foreign policy. Our foreign policy in South and Latin America is completely dictated by the drug war. It's bad stuff. So we have to make the case that, you know, individuals have a right to screw their lives up or to enjoy themselves in the ways that they see fit. I think these three things really build up to a pretty comprehensive case against the war on drugs.
We live, and we talk about this a lot in the book, we live at a time where it's easier than ever to impact politics from the outside looking in. And that's what we've seen with the war on drugs, with this sort of foot in the door of the medical marijuana movement, which was not something that Democrats ushered in through their beneficence, thank you. He's English lit major. But what citizens did on the local level said, hey, we want to be able to smoke this stuff if we're a cancer patient or if we're willing to pretend that we're a cancer patient in order to smoke medical marijuana. And now what we're seeing in California is that average people are going further than the drug policy activists had wanted to go with Proposition 19, which had a pretty fair hearing in California in 2010 and will be on the ballot in 2012. We argue that that movement, which should rightly be a bipartisan movement, because there isn't a single sane person in this country who thinks that the drug war makes sense or that we're winning it. So there is a solution to be had there, but that solution is going to come at the expense of politics, because politics produced this god-awful mess. And so acting as citizens, using the internet, banding together on the single issue that the drug war is an outrage, it's completely untenable, I think we'll begin to see, finally, beginning hopefully in 2012, some state actually legalizing and operating in open defiance of the federal government.